your presence. This is the air I breathe. This is the air I breathe.
Hello, this is Sandal Taylor and Life After. You're listening to On the Go on the radio station. Good evening, everyone. How are you this evening? I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. Well, it actually still is the weekend. This microphone. Keep going. Okay, there we go. All right. Once again, this is Life After with Sandal Taylor, and you're listening to On the Go radio station. How are you all doing this evening? Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Tonight I want to talk about, I know I've been talking about life after many different topics we've been discussing on the other Saturdays, but today I want to talk about your destiny. And in my mind, I picture your destiny as your future. So many times we find ourselves in life, we are in situations that we don't want to be in if we really be honest with ourselves. You know, some of you that are listening tonight, you have made decisions in your life that you are not pleased with. And some of us are really making steps toward our future, a brighter future, should I say. But tonight I want to talk about your destiny equals your future. I stated a couple of weeks ago that I'm a mother. And what I learned in motherhood is each one of my children has a different destiny. Each one is good at one particular thing. One is an athlete. One is very, very articulate. One is very, very smart. But they all have different destinies. And as a mother, it is up to me to lay out that the foundation for them so that their destinies and their futures, they have bright futures. And they grow up to be citizens, they grow up to be productive citizens, and they grow up to really fulfill their destiny. I have an older son, he's in his 20s, and ever since he was a little boy, he's always loved to read. And he just, I would read him one book and he would want me to read another book and another book and another book. He is a very, very smart individual, but that's not the case for everyone. Some people, you know, they may not be very articulate, but they're good in another area. And destiny is so important in today's society. Do you know you have people who are on the earth today who do not know their destiny? They do not know what their purpose is. And it is so important that we understand where we're going. Where we're going, once we get it in our minds where we're going and where we want to go, then it is so necessary for us to take the proper steps in getting there. Say, for instance, you have a person who wants to be a teacher. And they say, okay, I'm going to college, I'm going to school, and I'm going to take all the necessary classes in order to be a teacher. What they're doing, they're laying a foundation for their destiny. They make it up in their minds that they're going to go to school, go to college, take the necessary classes in order to be that teacher that they really want to be. Say, for instance, you have a person who wants to be a singer. A lot of times you have to surround yourself with those type of people in order to get there. You have to surround yourself with the right atmosphere. You have to be in the right atmosphere, should I say. And so it is so important that we know our destiny and where we're going in life. Because one thing I found out, time waits for no man. Time waits for no woman. It is up to us to take the necessary steps to make our futures bright for us, for our children, and for the up and coming generation. Do you not realize that time is ticking so quickly? You know, we are already in mid-August, almost to the end of August. And it seems like we were just celebrating summer and we, had our sandals out and, ready to go to the beach. And before you know it, summer will be over. And so realizing your destiny and looking into your future and understanding today, what steps do I need to take in order to get myself to point A, point B, point C. Your destiny and your future is so important. Once again, this is Sandal Taylor, and you're listening to On the Go radio station. I am so excited to be with you all tonight. And tonight we're talking about your destiny equals your future. Where do you picture yourself? Where do you want to be? Where do you want to go? It is so important for us to make the necessary steps in order to get there. And if you're honest with yourself and you say, well, I'm in a place in my life where I really don't want to be, then it is up to you to change. It is up to you to change the atmosphere. It is up to you to change the steps that you're taking. Say, for instance, I like to always use myself as an example. I remember when I gave birth to my first son, and I was in a band, and I always sang. I always wanted to be a singer, so I was always in a group or doing something musically. So after I had my first son, I decided to take a break from singing and just focus on motherhood. Well, one thing I found out, that time waits for no man, and it seems like my son turned 1, then 2, then 3, and the time just went by so quickly. And if we're not careful, we will find ourselves in a place where we do not want to be. We will find ourselves in a place where we have let time overtake us, and we have not made the necessary steps in order to move forward with our lives and do the things that we really want to do. So if you're listening tonight and you're in a place where you do not want to be, it is up to you to change it. Everything that you need is on the inside of you. All you have to do is take inventory of your life and really be honest with yourself and say, is this the place I want to be? Is this the place where I want to be in life? In a year or two, where do I want to be? One thing I found out after I graduated high school, I attended college. And my first year in college, I learned many different things. But one thing stuck out to me was the long-term and the short-term goals. And so many times in life, some people don't set goals at all. Goal setting is so important, even if it's one thing that you want to do. If it's one thing that you want to do, you say, you know what? Okay, how can I achieve this goal? Goal setting is very good, and goal setting shows even our children and the people that are around us that we really mean business. So goal setting is so important. Get a piece of paper, jot down on a piece of paper or your tablet or whatever you want to use, your phone, and make a list of things that you really want to do. I remember probably about 4 or 5 years ago, I know some people say bucket list, but I made a living list of things that I want to do while I'm living. And there were so many different things I put on there, but I remember making that list out. And some of those things I was able to scratch off, some of the things that I did accomplish on that living list. And so I just use that as an example. It is so important for us to make and set goals for ourselves. It is so important for us to understand that there is a future for us. You may be 35 years old. You may be 29 years old. Whatever your age is, take inventory of your life and take inventory of yourself and say, what is in my life that I want to accomplish? Now, you have some people, they have accomplished things, they have set out to accomplish certain goals, and they've reached every last one of them. And that is the type of people that you want around. Those are the type of people that you want in your inner circle, because they can tell you how they did it. One of very special people in my life is my spiritual father. And he always has set a good example in front of us. And he has always told us this is the things that he accomplished. And so we see that and we say, okay, wow, well, if he can do it, then I can do it as well. And it's so important to have people in your life who help propel you forward. It is so important to have people in your life that will push you into your destiny. And one of the key things I found out is that you cannot tell every single person your destiny or what you want to do in the future. And what I mean by that is this. Sometimes you tell a person, well, I'm getting ready to do, so-and-so. You're getting ready to start a business. Let's just use it as an example. And sometimes people don't really understand what you want to do. And so what they do is they offer an opinion that sometimes can cloud your judgment, because they're telling you a perspective that's not really helping you. So many times this is I've lived this. I have told people that I was getting ready to do this, that, and the other, and before I knew it, they were saying something negative, not understanding what I was getting ready to do. And so sometimes we just have to keep our mouths closed until we have it set in motion. Once you have it set in motion, then you can go ahead and say, okay, well, I'm already in school or what have you. But so many opinions in your ear can cloud your judgment of what you really want to do. And so we must stay focused on our future. We must stay focused on what we want to do in our destiny and trying to reach our destiny. Once again, you're listening to Life After with Sandal Taylor, and you are listening to On the Go Radio station, powering the voice of community and change. We are talking about your destiny equals your future. Your destiny equals your future. So many times in life we make goals, or so many times in life you may have wanted to do a particular thing. Let's use a business as an example. Say, for instance, you always had an idea you wanted to start a business, and you had a very, very good business idea. You made your business plan and you got everything together. Something happened and you did not fulfill that. Maybe some things got in the way and you started doing other things, and you did not start that business the way you really wanted to. Well, now it's not too late. Especially, so many times I watch television and I'll see a product and I say, that's a really good idea. That's a really good product. I say that often because we have such brilliant minds, and we can come up with an idea that will change the world. So maybe that was something you had at one point, and you had your business plan, like I stated earlier, and you said, okay, I'm going to start that business. Something happened and it fell apart and you did not do it. It's not too late. Your destiny is so important. Someone is waiting on you. Someone is waiting on one of your bright ideas that you have. And some of us have some really, really good ideas. Some of us come up with good business ideas. Some of us have that entrepreneur mindset. But if entrepreneurship is not for you, then there's something that you've been placed on this earth to do. What is your purpose? What is your destiny? What is your future? What do you see yourself doing? And I found out, even with my own children, that early on, I always saw what each one of them was good at. And so as a mother, it was up to me to steer them in that particular direction so that they could follow those little nuggets and those little things I placed in front of them to set a foundation so that they can have a better tomorrow. It is so important for us to live out our destiny. It is so important for us to understand what our purpose is in life. And you may know someone who just has not fulfilled their purpose. You may know someone who said, okay, well, I just had too many hardships in life. There is no way that I can even make it move forward. It is up to you to be encouraging to that person and say, it's not too late. It is not too late to fulfill your purpose. I love to watch plays and musicals, anything dealing with music. I love to watch that. But when you see the person on the stage and they're singing and they're, it's just such a beautiful performance, that person had to do something in order to get on that stage. They had to go to rehearsal. They had to perform the songs over and over and over, even when they were tired. And it is so important for us to have persistence and in anything that we're doing. We have to make sure that we live out our purpose here on the earth. I heard someone say one of the richest places is the graveyard, and that's a terrible thing to say. But do you know that some people left this earth without fulfilling their purpose, and we don't want that to be us. We don't want to live. We don't want to leave this earth without fulfilling our purpose. And it's so important. Even you may know someone who's starting a business or going to school. They want to go back to school or whatever they're doing. You be an encouraging voice in their ear and say, you can do it. You can make it. It is so important to have people around you, and you can also be that person to someone else. Be an encouraging, give a person encouraging words. Say, you know what, that's okay, you made a mistake. Go ahead and move forward. You can do it. It is so important for us as we reach forward to our destinies to encourage others, to encourage ourselves. And it is so important for us to stay focused. Have you ever been driving? I know we're here in Michigan. We get some pretty brutal winters. But have you ever been driving down the road and the snow started coming? And you put your windshield wipers on, you're driving real slow. Snow is coming down, it's starting to accumulate, and you're behind the wheel, and you have to take time to get to your destination safely. One thing you have to do is you have to focus more. You have to focus more on that road because your vision is clouded a little bit by the snow. And so it's the same thing in life. Sometimes things come out of nowhere to try to knock you off or out of your place. But you still have to stay focused. You may be tired in your body. You may have a situation, but you still have to move forward and stay focused so you can reach that finish line, so you can get to the place where you're supposed to be. And do you not know that when you get to the place you're supposed to be, there's someone waiting there for you? There's someone waiting for you to reach your destiny, and there is someone waiting on you to get there so that you can help them. Once again, you are listening to Life After with Sandal Taylor on the Go radio station you are listening to. We are powering the voice of community and change. And tonight we are talking about destiny equals future. It is so important for us to stay focused on the road to our destiny. Everyone has a different purpose and a different plan in life. It is so important for us to stay focused on our journey to success and on our journey to our futures and our destinies as we move forward to reach it. It is so important to stay focused. So important to surround ourselves with the right people. Do you know it's certain things in my life I would not discuss with anyone because sometimes too many opinions in your ear can cause you to have a clouded judgment, and I don't want that to happen. It's certain things I've learned in life. And one of them is not to tell everyone what you're doing. Now, you have to determine in your mind whose opinion matters to you. Who do you want to tell about it? Those people who you can really trust to tell about your dreams and aspirations and the things that you're doing. There are people in your life that can really tell you the truth. And so you have to determine whose opinion matters in your life. You don't want to tell someone what you're doing or the great dream that you have, and that person is a dream killer. You don't want to tell that person what it is you're doing because they will not understand. And one thing I found out, everyone does not understand your journey. Everyone does not understand your purpose. They can only tell you their opinion. And they can only tell you, well, say, for instance, you tell a person, well, I'm getting ready to go and get my bachelor's degree or my master's degree. Girl, my sister, she started school. She couldn't even finish. No, we don't want to hear that. You want to surround yourself and get the people in your inner circle who will encourage you. And sometimes those people are far and in between. I have people in my life, in my personal space, in my personal circle, who are very encouraging, who say, you can do it. Go ahead, you can do it. And it is so important to be around the people who you need to be around. If you have a person who has going where you want to go, it is so important to connect with that person and say, how did you do it? If you don't mind me asking, how did you get to this level? How did you get to this point? Because that person or those persons can always encourage you. They can always tell you, don't do this, don't do this. They can always tell you how they did it. And you can get those nuggets from them and you can move forward into your destiny. So many times we watch television and we see the actors and the actresses, and we see people who are on the, for instance, a Grammy stage, on an Oscar stage, and they are up there accepting their award. And I often wonder sometimes, how did they get there? What did they encounter? What did they have to do in order to get where they are? And I know that they had to have focus. I know that they probably, even as a child, saw themselves on that stage, and they let nothing get in the way of them grasping onto that destiny. Even in their minds, even before they got there, they saw it in their mind. It is so important for us to stay focused on our journey to destiny, on our way to our purpose. But even early on in life, it is so important to surround yourself with the right people. in order for you to reach your destiny. Once again, this is Sandal Taylor, and you're listening to On the Go radio station, powering the voice of community and change. And tonight we are talking about destiny equals future. How many of you out there say in your mind, there's things I want to do I have not accomplished? Some of you out there have accomplished your goals. You have went to school, you're walking in your destiny, but you want to move forward and you want to press past the place you are and go further. You are such an inspiration. And I just want to take my hat off to the people out there who have done those things, who have done those things they've set out to do. I want to take my hat off to you. You are an inspiration to those people around you, those people whose life you touch every day. You took the time to go to school. You took the time to start that business, and now you're able to influence others. And so I take my hat off to you, those of you who have taken the time to really do what you needed to do so that you can do what you want to do. I take my hat off to you. And then you have some people out there who want to make it, and they want to see themselves as this great entrepreneur or athlete or what have you. It is so important for you to start somewhere. Where can you start? Where can you start? And I'm always fond of pen and paper. I know we're in a technology age where everything is on a tablet and everything's on the iPhone and everyone has the computers. But I've always been fond of just jotting it down on a piece of paper first. What you want to do is important to you, and it should be. It is so important for you to write down your goals, your dreams, your aspirations. What is it that you want to do in order to have a bright future? And I want to talk also to the parents out there. Your children are looking at you and they see you. So if they see you start a business, if they see you going back to school and getting your degree, then they will want to do the same thing. You are being an example to them and in front of them. And so when you persevere and when you say, I'm starting this business or I'm getting ready to do this, they see you and you're being an example in front of them. And guess what? The next generation they will see that because they are the next generation. So being focused and understanding your purpose. And you may say, Sister Friend, well, I don't quite know my purpose yet. Take a inventory. Look on the inside of yourself. What is it that you're really, really good at? What is it that you can do without little or no effort? There are gifts and talents and skills on the inside of all of us. And each and every one of us some of us are multi-talented. Some of us have a strong skill set to be entrepreneurs and it's so many different things that you can do with your life. But what is it in you? What is it that you wake up thinking about? I remember when I was a little girl and I was in the first grade. And, you remember when you were small and they would say, well, write down what you want to be when you grow up. And I always would put singer on there. I always was fascinated with singing. My grandfather and grandmother were songwriters, and my mother was always, her group always rehearsed in the living room, and I would look through all the albums. I know I'm telling my age saying the album, but I would look through all the albums and I loved it. So ever since I was a little girl, I would always put singer, and I put like 6 or 7 things that I wanted to do with my life. And even today, I'm still singing. And I'm so grateful to God that he's allowed me to be used, and also to he chose me to use me to encourage others through music. And so that's one of the things that I've always been fascinated with. But even from a little girl, I wanted to do that. I wanted to sing. I wanted to, I would put the towel on my head and get the hairbrush and just pretend like I was this singer. I did that all the time. And I would look in the mirror and pretend. It's something about an imagination. And some of you out there need to wake up your imagination. You need to wake up your imagination. You're helping everyone but yourself. You're helping all these people fulfill their destiny, and you're not fulfilling your own destiny. It is so important for you to be that example, and for you to get up and say, I am going to use the imagination that God gave me, and I'm going to make my life better. It is so many things that you can do, but what is it in particular that you are most that you're really really good at, and that thing you do with little or no effort? So many times people are wandering around and they're working a job that they hate, and they're over here doing this and over here and doing that, and they are not fulfilled in life. So I am here to encourage you tonight to find your purpose. What is it that you would love to be doing? What is it that you imagine yourself doing? It is so important to take the necessary steps to get in that place and get in that groove of life where you say, I'm actually doing the thing that I love to do. Even if it's that thing that you're not getting paid a dime for at the moment, you are doing the thing that you absolutely love to do. And you can take the necessary steps in order to be compensated for that particular thing. So it is so important to understand focus. It is so important to understand that we all have a purpose in life. And it is so important to be comfortable in that. One of the things that I have become so comfortable with is being a mother. That is one of my roles. That is one of the things that I was born to do. And that's to be a mother. And motherhood, as I stated last week, it is a beast in itself. It is quite challenging and rewarding all at the same time. But that is one of the things that I've been called to. That is a role, and that is a thing that I wouldn't take back. So I just want to encourage whoever's listening tonight to find your purpose. Maybe you know what you want to do and you fell off, or maybe it's things that you want to do. Just get back in the groove of things. Get yourself a list, make yourself a list and say, this is what I'm getting ready to do. Set goals up for yourselves. What is it that you want to do in the next 30 days? What is it that you want to do in the next 60 days? It is so important to have a goal in mind so that you can reach your destiny. And like I said earlier, someone is waiting on the other side for you to come there. When I say come there, it is someone waiting on the other side for you to get to the place you're supposed to be. So many times people are in the wrong place at the wrong time. They're in the wrong spot. They should be further in life, and they are in a place where it's almost like they're in a time warp. And it's time to come out of that. It's time to be happy. It's time to fulfill your purpose in life. It's time for you to really enjoy the thing that you're called to do. Not everyone can do what you do. That is why it's so important to be focused and understand your purpose. I realize that there is only one me. And the thing that I'm supposed to do, I should get about the business of doing that. What is it that you're good at? What is it that only you can do? What is it that only you can bring to the table? And that's the way you have to look at it. And I found myself being at a happy place, understanding and knowing where I'm supposed to be, and really understanding that only I can do it. So just want to encourage each and every one of you out there today, whoever's listening in. You're listening to Life After with Sandal Taylor. And we are on the Go. You're listening to On the Go radio station, powering the voice of community and change. And tonight we are discussing your destiny equals your future. And I just want to, I can't stress it enough, to get the goal in mind. Get your destiny in mind. What is it that you see yourself doing in the future? And get about the business of doing that. Taking the necessary steps, going to school. Filing, if it's a business, filing for your DBA, you're doing business as, moving forward into the things that you're supposed to be doing, and distancing yourself from those who would try to pull you down. Do you not know even the people that are closest to you, they mean well and they will tell you the honest opinion, but sometimes you have to be quiet about what you're doing and just get about the business of doing it. One of our pastors at our church said, don't talk about it, be about it. And it is so easy to just talk and say, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and then I'm going to do this. But when it's time to really get down to business, you do have to be about your business. You do have to be about the business. And people can see your progress by what you're doing. it's easy to just talk and say, I'm going to start a business. I'm going back to school. I'm, going to tour and go to Europe or whatever it may be. But when people actually see you doing it, then they know you mean business, and you can be an encouragement to them. Maybe it's something on the inside of them that they wanted to do. And when they see you doing it, you could spark something in them. So it is so important to find your purpose. It is so important to know your purpose. And if you don't know your purpose, like I stated earlier, look on the inside of you. What is equals future? And you're listening to On the Go radio station, powering the voice of community and change. I hope I said something tonight to encourage you, to ignite that fire inside of you. You all have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and good night.
This is